Welcome back to America's Voice Live. I'm Jessica Rivera. Now let's welcome Alan Mednick and Miranda Khan with RealConvo. And they're coming to us from our West Palm Beach studios. Welcome, Miranda and Alan.
You here?
Thank you so much, Jessica. Really appreciate it. Joining me once again, Alan Mednick.
How you doing?
Me, my co-host of RealConvo. Always good to see you. Happy Friday, my friend.
Happy Friday.
I love it.
I love it too because, you know, I want to go back to when we first met. You remember? I think it was September. Way back. I think it was September.
Yeah.
So we met, we started talking about our stories, and you started sharing with me about the loss of your sister to suicide.
Right.
And what was the thing that I told you?
You told me, memory serves me correctly, you told me once I started opening up and sharing that with other people, that people are going to feel more comfortable about bringing up their own stories. Maybe they also lost someone to suicide. And then you also told me that I may have people who are under mental distress
At that moment.
Or perhaps suicidal, reaching out. And both of those have come true. So you are quite the fortune teller right there.
Yeah, so obviously the more you talk about it, the more people feel comfortable to come up to you and talk to you about it. Mm-hmm. And the biggest fear that everybody has is, what am I going to say? I'm going to say the wrong thing. You know, and that's the reason why there's training out there to help us with this. And I was so fortunate to be able to join an organization that provided me with the training. And there's an organization out there called LivingWorks. They're a global organization.
Love this organization.
It's fantastic. And that's where I did my training through. And they are the largest organization for suicide prevention education in the world. Global.
We're going global, baby.
Yeah. So we actually have a guest today. We have the president of LivingWorks coming.
I love him.
And he is in Canada, so he's coming to us. So we want to bring Rick in now?
Yes, let's do it. Hi, Rick. So good to see you again, my friend.
Great to see you, Alan and Miranda. Thank you for having me here.
Now, it's incredible to have you. You do such incredible work helping so many people out, and we want to get that message out there. So can you tell us a little bit about what you do at LivingWorks?
So LivingWorks is a, as you mentioned earlier, a globally leading company that focuses solely on the issue of suicide and suicide prevention. We provide training across the globe, and so that training actually enables people, no matter what walks of life they are, to be able to respond to suicide, to be able to address the issue, be able to identify people at risk, and to do something about it.
Yeah, I love what you do. It's amazing. And you've done the training.
I've done the training,
you're certified.
And I've actually put it into practice. And it's actually helped so many people out there.
Yeah, I mean, I told you, I was a little afraid of what to say. I might say the wrong thing, you know. It can be a little intimidating, but these programs, because there's more than one, are really helpful. And to kind of give our viewers a little bit of an example, I want to go to a video that we have that kind of illustrates an example of when someone may need help. Let's go ahead and take a look at that.
What's up, Pete? What are you doing over here by yourself?
I couldn't hear.
I was just asking if you had any plans for the holidays.
What's the point? No, I'm not gonna think ahead anymore.
Pete, is everything okay? What's going on? Or what do you mean you can't think ahead anymore?
I don't know.
How down you look and the things you're saying, I'm wondering if you're thinking about suicide.
Yes. I have been.
So suicide is what comes to mind when you think about how bad all this is feeling? This is really serious.
Yeah, I guess so. It is pretty serious.
But first, I want you to put these numbers in your phone. That way you have some contacts available if you need some help. Okay?
Helpline, my name is Bonnie. I'm here to help. Who am I speaking to?
Hello, Bonnie. My name is Mark, and I'm here with my friend Pete.
Love that video.
Yeah, it's very important to show.
So give us an example. We're going to roll through that a little bit again, but we're going to have the audio down. Rick, can you explain what happened here, what went well, because his friend really noticed that his other friend was kind of sitting alone. So if you could kind of walk us through that.
That's a clip from one of our programs. It's called LivingWorks Start, and the two characters that you saw in that are two friends in a barbecue. And one of the just a bit of a stage setting. One of the key pieces for us is that people live in community, and friends, family, no matter what environment, we can run across the issue of suicide. And so, we have that scene there with Mark and Pete that we saw just a brief clip of. But one of the key things there that we saw was that he was asked directly about the issue of suicide, and that's really important to be able to show that you care, to be able to open up the conversation. And you saw the response that he is thinking about it, and immediately this character asks, and digs into the conversation and connects him with a resource that can actually help him. So now what we've done is we've created a bit of a safety net for Mark and Pete. So Mark tuned in. Pete now has a bit of a safety net around him. He's connected to resources, and now he's going to start getting the help that he needs.
The important part about that, Rick, is that he used that word. There's a myth about that word suicide. So can you explain that a little bit further?
Absolutely. One of the things that we've studied over the years, so we have a 35-year history here in this field, and we've studied and we've applied it, and we've heard from those that we've trained is that it's really critical not to skirt the issue of suicide. And matter of fact, you have to ask directly, are you thinking about killing yourself? And what that does, it really gets to the point. It doesn't skirt around the issue. It really invites the conversation, and it lets that person know that you care for that individual, and that it's really important that we start talking about this.
Yeah, I want to go to another example that you have in your training video, if we could, of a woman who served in the service.
Yep.
I think it's very compelling. Let's take a look.
Yes. Yes, I am. I am thinking about suicide.
Well, that was one of the clips, but there was another clip of her just really stressed out. And again, these are actors. But you could see the house was kind of in disarray. There you go, if you can kind of look at the video there. And let's play that first, if we can, just because I really think it's important, because people kind of get a visual idea of what to look for to see if someone may be, under mental stress.
Can't do anything right. I feel like I'm a bad mother. I still can't keep up with everything, even though I try. I just can't see my way forward from this.
Go to him.
That's so powerful.
Yeah.
And both of you always say that. People are afraid to bring up the word suicide. I'm getting more and more comfortable. Obviously, it's important to do that. And you kind of went into it, Rick. But you have 3 different programs, organizations, businesses that use you all over the world. And this is something that people can do anywhere.
Well, that's what it's meant for. And Rick, maybe you could go into it a little bit. It's not doctors, it's not psychologists. This is for who? Who is these programs for?
As physicians and our healthcare systems are really important players in, and they carry a role within suicide. But what we need is our communities to be able to be educated, to be able to respond to the issue, to identify people, to bring them to help. And once they've seen a healthcare professional, we believe that they've been discharged from the emergency department or waiting for their next appointment, they need to have a community of people surrounding them. And that's what we train. We train all aspects, including healthcare professionals. And so, our approach is very much about community. It's about developing systems of people with different roles to be able to respond to the issue of suicide and hopefully prevent a climb in the suicide rate and actually start to reduce that rate. That's our goal. That's our mission.
Yeah. And Rick, again, I've done these trainings myself for everybody from middle school, high school, to recently to the United States Southern Command military base, which was an absolute honor to do that. That was an honor. And, so this is for everybody, but one of the things that we talk about with this is that it's got to stay constant, that the training, if whether I do it, Miranda does it, Rick does it in Canada, it has to stay the same. Why is that?
And we only have about 30 seconds left. I'm sorry, we're running out of time, Rick, but real quickly.
So real quickly, it takes leadership. And so, you mentioned the military. I'm a U.S. Navy veteran, really important part of my background. But it takes leadership to make that happen, community leadership, and so that's really important that we're able to reach all sectors and make sure that we have training that can address every walk of life, and everybody can play a role in this important topic.
We're doing it. Sorry to cut you off, Rick Trimp, but it was such a pleasure to have you on RealConvo. We're going to have to leave it there. Hope to have you back on. Appreciate all the great work you're doing. Up next, Amanda Head is going to be joined by one of my favorites, Tom Borelli. Stay tuned.